Hello everyone, this is the second video about Agile estimation. I am Mike Lee. I'm an Agile practitioner and I'm passionate to help others to improve their way of working. In the first video, we discussed the relative estimation, which is the key concept behind many estimation techniques. Today we will focus on some particular estimation methods. One method that many teams like to use is t-shirt size estimate. Just like you go to buy a t-shirt and choose the size from small, medium, large, or even extra small and extra large. You can use the same concept to estimate the size of the work. Simply compare them to each other. The pro of this method is that it's easy to apply and won't be trapped in the trouble of time-based estimation, as we discussed last time. But it might be hard to understand the total size of the work, and you have to find a way to quantify the estimation. Another method is story point, what might be the most adopted one. It uses a sequence of points to estimate the size, like the Fibonacci sequence, or the power of 2 sequences. It has been called story point because many Agile teams will capture the ideas as stories, and it is used to estimate the size of the story. You may ask why we don't just use any number. Why these sequences? Well, if you put those numbers in a chart, you can find that it looks like this. The gap between the points is increasing very, very fast. This means the uncertainty of this large story will increase explosively. There will be lots of unknown when the story is very big. So, to reduce the uncertainties, we need to break the large story to smaller ones. Another possible question is what one point really means. Can we say 1 point means 1 day, or 1 point means 1 hour? I know some teams are trying that way. Personally, I won't recommend it because you may get into the time-based estimation trouble again, as we discussed before. Then, how do we estimate practically? Let's say the team has initialized a backlog with a bunch of stories and needs to initialize the backlog with the estimation. The team can have an estimate workshop. In a workshop, the team can pick up any one story first and put it in the middle, like this. And then the team agree that towards right, the story will be larger, and towards left, the story will be smaller. Then the team just choose the stories from the backlog and compare them to each other. The similar size of the work should be in the same column. At the end, you should create an affinity map according to the comparing result. This step is similar to the t-shirt size estimate. Then the team can start to assign the point to each column. Say, we start from a relatively small column and give it 3 points. And then based on that, we assign points to each column. This exercise can quickly help the team to get a rough idea about the total size of the work. Also, the team will have a set of baseline for the estimation in the future. When a team has a baseline, if there's a new story that needs to be estimated, the team can have a quick conversation about it The procedure may look like this. The first round, each one will give their estimate according to their own understanding. It could be very different. Then, what the team should do? Someone may say, just to give an average point based on the team's result, or just ask team to vote. Don't do it. They will kill opportunities for the team to learn from each other. What the team should do is to have a conversation. Ask a person who gave the largest point why. Maybe he will say because the story needs a lot of regression tests. Also ask the person who gives the smallest points why. Maybe she will say she knows there's an existing tool that can achieve it quite easily. After asking team members to share their experience, we let everyone estimate again. In the second round, each one may adjust their estimate based on the new knowledge they just learned from each other. And the estimate may quite close, like mostly 8 and 5 points. At this time, because the candidates' points are neighbors to each other in the sequence, so we can just simply choose one of them. The team can have agreement like always choose the larger one. Then the key outcome from this estimation exercise is not just about getting agreed number of points, but to have a conversation and shared the knowledge. You may still want to know how long it might take. To answer this question, let's first learn another concept, velocity. Velocity is the total complete points in one sprint. Please notice that it will only count completed points at the end of one sprint. For example, in one sprint, the team has planned some stories, and the size of those stories may look like this. And at the end of the sprint, the team may complete some of them, but not all of them, like this one, but not this one. So the total velocity in this case is 13 points. When a team has a data about their velocity, they can use it to predict the possible end sprint of the current backlog work. Let's say the y-axis is the total size of the backlog, and the x-axis is sprint. After initial estimation, the total backlog size is about 200 points. I'm using dotted line here because it's the initial estimate, it's assumption. And the team, after trying the first sprint, the velocity is about 20 points. Then based on this, the team can say, if the team's velocity is always 20 points, then the possible end sprint will be here. Then, in the second sprint, the team may only complete 10 points. So the total complete work is 30 points. Then the team may adjust the prediction according to the average velocity. It could end up here. If some new ideas have been added to the backlog and the total size has increased to be 250 points, then the possible end sprint will also change. If there's an expected release date, a deadline, then the team can, based on the velocity, to tell if they may achieve the expectation or not. This chart is called release burn-up. It is quite useful to provide a visibility of the progress based on the estimate and the actual complete work. Let's wrap up today's sharing. We discussed some particular Agile estimation methods, mainly focused on story point estimation. We have talked about what it is, how to apply it in the team, and how to use it with velocity together to predict the possible end sprint. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.